Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Pali's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be looking at a fragrance from the House of Creed. This fragrance is known as Royal Oud, which came out in 2011. This is classified as an amber fougere, and it is a unisex fragrance. Creed created this scent based on the persistence of Creed's fans and requesting a oud-based fragrance. The interesting thing about this fragrance, even though it has oud in the title, the scent or the note of oud is almost non-existent in this fragrance. And this fragrance should actually be called Royal Wood instead of Royal Oud. There's another fragrance that I reviewed earlier on, maybe a couple weeks ago. It was called Lagerfeld Man by the House of Karl Lagerfeld. And this fragrance came out in 2003. And that fragrance has some similarities to this one. In particular, this dusty sweet note. Like I said, this fragrance, it just has nuances of oud, but it does not dominate the fragrance. The best description of this fragrance is if you were to walk into an office, let's say in New York City, a penthouse office in the 1930s, and you get this polished wood and leather smell to a fine office. So I'm going to take the top off and give it a quick spray on my wrist. So initially, there's a very lovely, peppery, sharp, spicy woodiness, almost like polished wood. But I don't get that much citrus and almost no oud. And like I said, if this didn't have the title Royal Oud, I would not even consider oud being a note in this fragrance. As it dries down, it becomes a little more herb-like, almost pine-like with some sweetness, but it retains most of the initial DNA. Later on, some hours later, you get this bit of like this sweet dustiness and increasing woodiness. It's not an overly complex fragrance, but it is very refined and very sophisticated and very pleasant to the nose. And for oud-based fragrances, as they call this, I find a lot of ouds are just too much for me. So this fragrance is something I would wear, and I think it is a very well-composed fragrance. Top notes for this, as advertised, are pink pepper, lemon, and Sicilian bergamot. The mid notes are cedar, galbanum, and angelica. The base notes are sandalwood, oud, and musk. Two notes I quickly want to mention. The first one is galbanum, which is a green herb fougere. It is a note that gives a fragrance some bite, some grittiness in a green manner. It's a green note. The second note I want to mention is angelica, which is also a green herb fougere. This is actually a plant where they use the root or the seeds to get extract, which provides a musky, woody, sweet, rooty smell. It's very aromatic and again green. So, final verdict on this one. This is a very elegant, non-abrasive fragrance. It's easy to wear. It's easy to like, extremely refined and well balanced. It can be used as a signature scent. Again, with all of Creed's fragrances, there is the price to consider. And if you have money to spend, and if you're just in love with this fragrance once you smell it, because you would always want to try before you buy this, it would be worth the purchase. If you're 50-50 on it, you may want to turn another direction. But I definitely think you would have to be a Creed fanatic, or you would have to be in love with this scent to purchase it. I think it is a lovely smell, but I do think it needed another gear, another dimension to it, which I was waiting for. And I think what was missing was possibly the depth and longevity. But on the flip side, I think if it would have had more depth and longevity, it would have been too strong. So I think this is the best this fragrance had to offer in terms of its composition for its longevity and performance. Again, price, you have to decide. That's only a decision you can make. No one can make that decision for you. Otherwise, I think this is a real winner. I am not overly crazy about oud-based fragrances. I like them when they're done in more of the French European style, like in Tom Ford's M7 or something like this. Is very, very wearable and very pleasant, and it's going to be a pleaser for many people. But one last note is, as the hours pass on, it starts to be a very tight skin scent. It's not a major projector, but it is lovely and very refined. So if you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Any comments, questions, or experiences you have with this lovely fragrance from the House of Creed, leave them down below, and I will always get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.